Boy, do we like the Toyota RAV4, the hybrid version.
Well,
we like that a lot, don't we?
I was thinking, if you really like
This
the
is what we're
Toyota
driving.
RAV4, but you don't want it to look like a Toyota RAV4, I have the car for you. It's the Mazda CX50 hybrid, which uses the heart, the drivetrain of the Toyota RAV4 hybrid that we actually like. It is also, interestingly enough, this is the only CVT in Mazda's lineup. They don't like CVTs. We don't like CVTs, but this is the reality of a hybrid drivetrain. So it has a CVT and a 2.5-liter hybridized engine right out of the RAV4 to give Mazda's actually very well-selling CX50 a hybrid version, to bump it up from like the low 20s of miles per gallon to like the mid to high 30s.
It's impressive.
Great cars, great roads, and all the reasons we love to drive.
Road trips, comparisons, test drives, and podcasts. This is Everyday Driver.
And we've driven the CX50 before. As I recall, I gave the impression that I didn't like it.
You did give that impression. I remember that impression.
I went back and watched myself to see if I agreed with myself. And I did agree with myself.
Okay.
Because that CX50, they took the 2.5 turbo engine that they already had, and they dropped it in the new design.
Yeah.
Which is really great looking. It's aged very well, and I still really like it. I didn't feel like that car was being honest with itself. It looks like an off-roader. It has body cladding like an off-roader, and saying that it's a performance driving SUV because of all the power that it made. And it was impressive. It did make a lot of power. 256 power, 320 pound-feet of torque, and it was good. But of all the things that you could choose to buy, it seemed in conflict with itself. Whereas this, with the Toyota 2.5, the 3 electric motors, it's down on power, it has a CVT, 3 electric motors, and it doesn't tow as much, and I like it so much better than the other one.
That's interesting.
I can't even tell you.
I'm very surprised at that, actually.
I actually like it. I thought, as soon as I drove this, I was going, why do I suddenly kind of like this? And then
really
when
surprised.
I read that it's the hybrid system out of the Toyota, it was like, of course I like it.
That's bizarre to me.
It's more honest with itself. It has 19-inch wheels and tires. Even though the plastic fender cladding is still dishonest, I noticed as soon as I went for the drive mode, it is no longer off-road mode. It is trail.
Well,
It says trail, which means they're being honest with themselves.
This is,
and it's far more suited because the other one, the turbo, more power, but it only got like 25 miles to the gallon, which is fine. This one gets 38.
I know.
That is now a reason to pay less and get a better SUV with all the other things that I did like. It's not an off-roader. Yeah, trail mode. There we go. There we go. Now we're being honest with ourselves.
Okay, interesting. All right. I see that.
What's going on here?
Yeah, that is, an incident is being managed.
It's managed, yes,
They
that's
are
right.
properly managing this incident.
Okay. Okay, now everybody... Oh, there's more.
Yeah,
there's more to manage.
The incident's up here. That's just the management. The incident itself is here. The management is back there. If you don't get the Utah joke, all of the big flashy trucks here, when there's a wreck on the freeway, say incident management on them. So we enjoy the fact that the incident's being managed, apparently.
Okay.
I think we're past the incident. I think it was the truck.
Well,
we just created a whole other incident.
Yeah,
here.
trailers are trying to pass each other up a hill. It's okay. 38 miles to the gallon combined, which is very impressive. And it's almost as much as the Toyota, but clearly Toyota is giving them the powertrain, but not giving them all the tech, because this uses a nickel metal hydride battery, not the lithium ion battery that is in the Toyota system. So it's still good, but even though this is down on performance, it doesn't feel like it, and that's important. And I'm getting much better gas mileage. And the system feels suited to the car, and suddenly I liked it.
I'm really surprised that it's turned you that much on this, because I liked the last CX50 a lot more than you did. I never thought it was an off-roader, and even though it has the looks, it does have a cooler look. than the CX-5, even though it and the CX-5 completely overlap in the Mazda lineup. And that's one of my big questions that's been the case with this since they introduced it, is it exactly sits in the Mazda lineup as two variants of the same concept. Mm-hmm. They're roughly the same price, they offer the same powertrains, it's just, what's your styling preference? And to your point before, I don't think the CX-50 is an off-roader. The CX-5 and the CX-50 can kind of do the same things off-road. Which one what kind of trail would you like to go down?
Yes.
Each of them is fine.
Trail. It's
Yes.
not an off-roader, even though it looks like it in sort of position. And Mazda didn't go far enough with the other one to make it a safariized vehicle.
The CX-5
This
is
one
the
is
nicer
suited.
version. It is the, a little bit more, classy version. This one is the one that suggests off-roading. Okay, I actually prefer the styling here. It's lower and wider is the look of the
Yes.
styling, and I actually think it looks pretty cool like this. But its purpose is what we're doing. Its purpose is commuting. In spite of its
all-
off-road cred,
Yes.
supposedly, its purpose is commuting.
That's all anybody will ever do with any of these, is
Yeah.
just drive it like this. And so I feel like this is an honest interpretation, and I'm fascinated that it has the things that I don't like: CVT, lower power, less towing,
Yeah. I'm very
smaller wheels
surprised
and
you like it
tires,
that much.
and it drives better. It's more suited to itself. But the cool part is it's only about 200 pounds heavier with the hybrid system than that turbo model.
Yep.
That's it.
Right at
So
4,000
you're not
pounds.
paying
Yeah.
a huge price. It's slower by numbers, but it doesn't feel slower, and it still drives well. In power mode, it still handles pretty well,
Yeah.
and it's still interesting, engaging. I like this so much better.
I am amazed that
And-
you like it that much more.
And I read it's got a Toyota drivetrain. Like,
Don't understand.
That's why I like it.
But okay, all right, man.
I agreed with myself. Watching the video, all the points that I made,
Okay.
I agreed with myself because you asked me a crucial question,
Okay.
which I can now answer. And you asked me if I would take this or the Subaru Outback. I would take the hybrid CX50,
Would you?
and I would buy the Outback over the Turbo because it's better suited to the trail and off-road thing
The premise.
that
Okay.
the CX50 is positioning itself,
Okay.
and yet it doesn't.
All right.
It's like the Lexus GX550 with 21-inch wheels and tires.
Sure. The luxury version of that.
It
yeah.
rode terribly, and
Yeah.
suddenly you just change small things, and suddenly it's likable. It took a CVT for me to like it, and I hate that.
That is a first.
I hate that.
That
And
is
I
a
don't like the
first for
CVT.
you.
It's still not good at
No,
drones. It's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
But the torque of the electric motors and the smoothness that it has on the freeway, the
Okay.
driving character is so much better suited for this powertrain. Shifting gears, nope.
That's as much as you got.
See, you don't even get attack anymore.
No, you don't. You just get charge
a
or
power
power.
needle.
You get a power needle. Woo, power
Yay.
needle.
The power needle.
Uh-oh, there's more.
You called them.
But wait, there's more.
You called them bug pincers on the front, and they still haven't gone away.
True, yeah.
That is the only downside. The rest of this car looks great. It's got hips. It's got a nice wide stance. The interior space is great. When you fold the back down, it's really superb. The interior has not changed enough for me to really like it. It's still kind of a little bit too puffy on the padding here. And we battled about the vent, the middle vent. We couldn't figure out who gets the vent.
I
Who
don't
gets
know.
the air coming out of here?
I'm not sure.
I guess it's you.
You just pointed at the back seat and call it a day.
I guess
you
it
just,
is.
Just split the difference. I don't know.
But now I have a totally different feeling because of how it drives.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
great for what it is now. It's great gas mileage. I mean, standout gas mileage.
It is good. Yeah, it's gas mileage that's good enough that you could buy a CUV, SUV, and feel fine about it because 38,
Yes.
almost 40 is great.
You'd think I would like the turbo, and I do, but all those parts did not gel. They did not settle into the car. But here, this is the one you should buy. The CX50 Hybrid, because it's a Toyota underneath. I mean, kind of, but you get the best of Mazda, what they do. You get the best of the interior. You get great styling that I like better than the RAV4. This is the powertrain suited for this car. Finally, the car manufacturers figured it out, and it's lower cost than the turbo, and you're not losing that much. You gain 200 pounds, and
Yeah.
it's a second and a half slower.
It's not even a second and a half. It's a second. Here's the thing.
Who
the turbo
cares?
is a second faster than this 0 to 60, mid-6s, which do you need your CUV to do that? I don't know. This is mid-7s, and the base engine on this is the mid-8s. So this is dead in the middle of the two other engines as far as its speed 0 to 60, if that's even a metric that you care about
You
for your
shouldn't.
CUV, because that's not the point.
You shouldn't. The
Yeah.
way it drives on the highway, are people comfortable? You lose the paddles, but you gain so much in efficiency, and the powertrain makes the car settled and smooth.
I am
It's
really
still a
surprised how much
parts
it struck
car.
you. Yeah,
the
yeah.
fenders could be painted, and that could set the hybrid apart. If they
Oh,
painted
sure.
the fenders,
Yeah, yeah.
then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know it's the hybrid, and it would be even more honest with itself.
Well, it's kind of like when you see a Bronco or a Wrangler with painted fenders. It gives it a little bit different look. I like the painted fender idea for the hybrid. That's a good
That
idea.
would
That's very
settle it.
cool. All right, I'm ready to drive.
All right, here you go.
It's cold.
I'm a bit confused by the all EV mode in this car.
Okay.
You have to kind of wind it up, and it gives you a little indicator here on the dash that I can go all EV mode, and I can do that currently, but it really likes to tell you not available. Because you're going
Most of the time it's not
because you're
available.
going too fast, or you didn't charge it enough, or whatever. Because this is not a plug-in hybrid; this is a standard hybrid. Now, the fact that I can go EV mode at all, I'm going to leave in EV mode. Okay, cool. But as soon as I break over, I think it's about 25 miles an hour, it's like, nope, sorry, can't do that anymore. Which is okay. All
for
right,
the
yep,
school
there it is.
drop-off
There it
line.
is. EV mode canceled
speed.
due to vehicle speed. It's right at 25. It gives up the ghost. Okay, that's fine. You didn't buy this to be an EV. I want to acknowledge that. The hybrid is the thing that matters here. I'm struggling with this depending upon the competition I put it with. Okay? I'm going to go back to sporty mode.
It sounds
Power.
terrible now.
Oh, yeah.
It's CVT. I shouldn't like it, and yet once it's up to speed,
I can't believe what you do.
finally.
It has plenty of power for what you need.
Yes.
It's that 219 horsepower, 163 pound-feet of torque. It's not resounding numbers, but it seems to work with this car, and I do agree with you there. Also, the CX-5 doesn't come in hybrid, so I want to compare this to two vehicles. The Mazda CX-5, which is its direct competitor from the same brand, and the Toyota RAV4.
Okay.
Hybrid.
Okay.
Whose heart it carries. Okay?
Yeah.
Technically, the CX-5, which is a more upright body style and a little bit more trying to be luxurious, whereas this is trying to be off-roady, right? It actually has a little bit more. It's trying. It is trying. It actually has a little bit more space inside, and it feels a little bit classier than this. But how are you using it? If you're really going to use it as a commute vehicle, I think the CX-5 is arguably still better. But if you are looking for good hybridization, good gas mileage in your CUV, I would get this over the RAV4. It looks better.
Yes.
It drives a little better.
Yes.
I like being here more, and I like the interior more. And the biggest plus for this, for me, because I actually think, compared to the last CX-5 we drove even, this drives bigger than the CX-5.
It's bigger.
The suspension.
The CX-5 is a little bit smaller. It's just
It's taller and more compact. This
Yeah.
has been like squashed and spread out.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
difference. But the way the suspension is set up here, it is soft enough that it makes the vehicle feel a little loose, and as a result, a little bit bigger than the CX-5 does.
Okay,
The CX-5 feels a
fair.
little more buttoned down. But I like the way this drives and looks better than I do the RAV4 hybrid. And the thing I'm astonished by is the price. When I got in this, I play a little game with my son. When he gets in these press cars with me, he pulls out the Monroney and looks at it, and he asks me, what's the answer?
And you guess.
And I guess the price.
Okay, all right.
You want to know what my guess was? I looked around this interior. I looked at what it provides. I thought about the fact it's a hybrid, and I said 48 grand, which I thought was an excellent guess. 48 grand feels like probably what you're going to charge for this in the modern time. This is a loaded press car.
Yeah.
You can't get more. $41,000 out the door. Now, while $41,000 isn't a cheap vehicle,
No.
there is value here. This
There's a
feels
lot of
like
value.
every bit of that.
Yes. And for the numbers you're getting,
Yes.
MPG, 38 combined,
You get
that
100.
is significant.
Yes,
man.
you can get
That is
100
good.
more miles on a tank of gas than the standard car.
That means a lot.
That's a lot. Yes.
The turbo isn't high performing enough or off-road enough. It's none of the things that it wants to be.
Okay.
And
all right.
in my opinion, Mazda didn't take it far enough. And so I would take an Outback if I were looking for an off-roader, because all you're buying are fender flares. It looks off-roader. Remember, you didn't get
Oh,
skid
you're
plates?
buying our fender flares. I'm laughing because I'm not sure that you're wrong. I think you're making an
What
excellent
else do you
argument
get?
there. Fair point.
But
okay.
if you're buying it with a different mindset, I'm still getting great style. The fenders need to be painted.
Yeah.
But it looks great. Great ride. Good handling.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this MPG for a lower cost than the turbo, and you give up very little.
Yeah,
You
I see
give up
that.
very
Yeah.
little in comparison to the turbo. This is the play. This is the value. This is the one you want, and it makes all kinds of sense. As soon as I read that, I was like, oh, it's a Toyota powertrain. No wonder I suddenly like it.
I am astonished
No wonder.
that you have come so far on this, because I liked the last one a lot more than you did, and I think I like this one a little less than you do.
Really?
You have swung to the other side of the pendulum. That happens sometimes because it is interesting how different trims on vehicles just resonate with us differently. And this, I will go with you that this does feel well matched.
It feels
And
really
for
well
how
done,
you're going to
yes.
use this, because I think most people are just going to commute in it. Use it for the school run, pick up the kids, have it as the family SUV. It looks a little bit off-roady. It's got cool styling. We'll take it down a fire road now and then. Now, some of you are screaming or anger typing or whatever it is you're doing because you have one that is either the turbo or the base with the more towing capacity, and you tow whatever it is to the backcountry.
Fair.
I'm sure that exists, okay? But I don't feel like this does that all that well, even though it can. And I also don't feel it does it all that much better than a CX-5 would, and the CX-5 isn't pretending to do it. This is excellent. I do like
This
it.
isn't pretending anymore.
Okay.
It's honest
All right.
with itself.
Okay. I didn't think you'd like it that much. I think it's cool.
As soon as I started driving, I was like, I thought I disliked the CX50. I thought I didn't like this, and suddenly I like this.
The thing is, this drives every bit as big as the Land Cruiser does to me, and it isn't that big. The new Land Cruiser. Or
Really?
the
You
GX5.
think this drives as
I think
large
it
as
drives
that?
as big
Really?
as those do.
I think
and it
that's
isn't
still
that
bigger
big.
to me.
So that's the thing about it,
Feels
that it's a
more
little bit
truck-like.
of a notch against it, especially considering the fact that the CX-5 technically has a little bit more cabin space. I can't slight Mazda, because the truth is, across the board, we like Mazda's products.
Yeah, we do.
And they
we do.
typically offer great value for money, which this does. Good driving dynamics, which this is solid but a little loose for me. And the styling is on. And they've definitely nailed the styling here.
Except for one thing,
Uh-oh.
and I am slighting them for this. Make the other one a Safari off-roader. Make it a true. Go far enough. You didn't go far enough on the other one. That's what kept me from liking it. I liked all the features and the styling and the recipe I liked, but the execution didn't happen. This one,
You were just waiting for people in beanies with kayaks and
well, it
guitars,
was either make it sort of off-road and,
Yeah,
and make
yeah,
it go far
sure,
enough,
okay.
or make it a sports car. It is neither.
Okay, all right.
So in that sense, I am slighting them for it. But this one, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Whichever version of the CX50 you would like, or a CX-5, or the RAV4 hybrid. I mean, we're mixing them all up here in this review. Go to autotempest.com/everyday. That's how they know that we sent you. You can look for any version of this you can imagine. You can compare hybrid CUVs if you'd like. You could do that
right.
all day long. Autotempest.com is the place to do all the cars with one search. They look at all of the search sites with one query. They can even send you alerts. Autotempest.com, all the cars, one search.
Finally.
You're just so satisfied by this.
Finally.
I am just amazed.
Like,
Okay, all right. It's amazing when the pendulum happens and swings that far.
I feel like I was listened to, even though I'm sure I was not.
You feel vindicated even though you
I
weren't in the
feel
conversation.
Like
That's really
somebody
funny.
paid attention.
That's really funny.
And it's okay to not like some cars that everybody else likes.
Okay.
It's okay.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. You and I are known for that.
Yes.